Let's start with a truth bomb. Sex doesn't stop at 60. It doesn't vanish with your youth, or menopause, or gray hair. It changes, but it doesn't end. And yet, no one talks about it. Not your doctor. Not your friends. Not even the magazines that preach about aging gracefully. So today, we're blowing the lid off the silence. We're diving into the real, raw, and beautiful world of sex after 60. Not the polite version. Not the clinical version. The honest version. This is for every woman and man who's wondered, is it still possible? It is. And then some. The silent taboo. Let's face it, society pretends older people are asexual. That once you retire from desire too. Movies rarely show passionate kisses between silver-haired lovers. Ads for sexual wellness target the young. Even in medical offices, questions about your sex life stop once you hit a certain age. But guess what? The desire doesn't die. Your skin still tingles. Your heart still races. And intimacy, in all its forms, still matters. So why the silence? Shame. Ageism. And the myth that pleasure has an expiration date. But here's the truth, sex at 60, 70, 80, it's not just possible. It can be phenomenal. What changes, and what doesn't? Let's get real, things change. Bodies evolve. Hormones shift. But change isn't the enemy. It's the invitation. For women, menopause brings vaginal dryness, reduced estrogen, and sometimes lowered libido. For men, there might be slower erections, reduced stamina, or erectile dysfunction. But here's what doesn't change. Your capacity for touch. Your right to pleasure. Your ability to connect emotionally and physically. In fact, many people over 60 say sex becomes more meaningful. Why? Because it's not rushed. It's not performance-driven. It's not about chasing an orgasm in 5 minutes flat. It's about connection, intimacy, curiosity. And that's sexy. Reconnecting with your body. After 60, many people feel betrayed by their bodies. The mirror shows wrinkles. Muscles ache. You might not feel sexy. But let's flip the script. Your body has carried you through decades. It has loved, birthed, grieved, laughed. It deserves tenderness. Start by exploring your body again, without judgment. Run your fingers across your skin. Notice what feels good. Breathe into your belly. Touch yourself with curiosity, not expectation. This is how you rebuild intimacy, with yourself first. Because when you feel at home in your body, sharing it with someone else becomes a celebration. Desire doesn't retire. Here's a myth worth busting, that libido disappears with age. Not true. Desire can dip, yes, but it can also roar back with the right spark. Sometimes, stress, medications, or illness dulls it. But often, it's disconnection. From your body. From your partner. From your own fantasies. So reignite it. Read erotic literature. Watch sensual, not just sexual, films. Wear something that makes you feel good, just for you. Fantasize without guilt. Desire isn't a switch. It's a flame. Feed it gently, and it grows. Communication, the bedroom superpower. At 60 plus, your best sex organ isn't between your legs, it's between your ears. Talking openly about what you want, what feels good, what hurts, what you miss, it changes everything. But many people still feel shy. Maybe you were raised to believe sex was shameful. Maybe your partner assumes everything's fine. But silence is the enemy of intimacy. Start small. Would you like to try something different? That felt really good when you did that. Can we take more time tonight? Even if it feels awkward at first, keep going. Honesty is foreplay. Tools of the trade, let's talk lube and toys. Lube is your best friend. Seriously. For women, it combats dryness and makes everything feel better. For men, it enhances sensation. And it's not just for penetration. Lube makes every kind of touch better. Experiment with water-based, silicone-based, or organic versions. Try warming lubes. Flavored ones. CBD-infused ones. And then there are toys. Yes, toys. Vibrators aren't just for 20-year-olds. There are devices designed specifically for older bodies. Wand-style vibrators with large heads. Penis rings for erectile support. Suction toys for clitoral stimulation. Prostate massagers for men. Don't be afraid to explore. Pleasure doesn't have an age limit. Solo sex, reclaiming pleasure on your own terms. Here's a truth bomb that will liberate you. You don't need a partner to have a fulfilling sex life. In fact, solo sex after 60 can be healing, empowering, and deeply pleasurable, more than ever before. Why? Because it's pressure-free. Because it's exploratory. Because it's yours, not for someone else's pleasure, but your own. For women, solo exploration helps. Maintain vaginal health and elasticity. Increase blood flow, which reduces discomfort during partnered sex. Build body confidence and renew a sense of desire. For men, solo sex helps. Maintain erectile function and pelvic muscle tone. Reduce performance anxiety in partnered situations. Clarify what feels good now, because it may not be the same as when you were 30. Take your time. Light a candle. Play music. Use your hands, or toys, or even fantasy. Rediscover your body like it's the first time. This isn't a compromise. It's a form of self-love, and it's powerful. Reigniting long-term relationships. Been married for 30 years? Living with the same partner since the 80s? You're not alone, and you're definitely not doomed to a passionless life. Yes, routines settle in. Yes, familiarity can dull the edge. But passion isn't about newness, it's about intentionality. Here's how to reignite that spark. 1. Have the conversation. Start by asking, what do you miss about our intimacy? What excites you about us now? What's one small thing we could try this week? Talk with each other, not at each other. 2. Try something new, together. Not swinging from chandeliers, unless you want to, but maybe. A new position. A different time of day. A romantic hotel getaway. Reading erotica together. Showering or bathing together. Novelty stimulates the brain, and in turn, the body. 3. Bring touch back. Sex often fades because touch disappears. Reintroduce hand-holding. Shoulder rubs. Hugs that last. Touch isn't always foreplay, but it always lays the foundation. Remember, love evolves, and so does sex. If you're willing to grow together, the passion never has to die. LGBTQ plus love after 60. Let's take a moment to talk about a community often left out of these conversations, LGBTQ plus adults over 60. If you're gay, lesbian, bi, trans, or queer, your experience with sex and aging may come with unique layers. Coming out later in life. Dealing with stigma and internalized shame. Facing a healthcare system that doesn't always understand your needs. But know this. Your identity is valid. Your desire is valid. And your right to pleasure is just as sacred. Aging in the LGBTQ plus community can also bring strength. You've lived through social shifts. You've learned to redefine love on your own terms. You've built resilience, and that fuels passion. If you're navigating new relationships or identities at this stage, you're not late, you're right on time. There's joy in rediscovery. And there is no expiration date on authenticity. Talking to your doctor about sex. Okay, real talk. If you can talk to your doctor about blood pressure, cholesterol, and bowel movements, you can talk to them about sex. Yet, so many don't. Why? Embarrassment. Fear of judgment. Assuming sex isn't medically important. But here's the truth, your sexual health is health. Period. Here are some tips to start the conversation. Be direct. I've noticed changes in my sexual function. Can we talk about that? Bring notes or questions. It's okay to have a list. If your doctor brushes it off, find another. You deserve a provider who respects every part of you. Doctors can help with hormone therapy, erectile dysfunction treatment, vaginal dryness solutions, referrals to sex therapists or pelvic floor specialists. You don't have to navigate this alone. The mental side of sex after 60. Let's not forget the brain, your biggest sex organ. After 60, sex is more mental than ever. Anxiety, grief, and depression can dull desire. Confidence, self-image, and body love shape your experience. Connection, with yourself or your partner, ignites everything. So take care of your mental space. Things that help. Therapy, especially sex-positive or aging-specialized. Journaling about desires, fears, or fantasies. Meditation or mindfulness to reduce shame and increase presence. One powerful exercise, look in the mirror, naked. Not to critique. To admire. To thank your body. To own your experience. You are not broken. You are becoming, over and over again. The underrated benefits of sex after 60. Think sex after 60 is just about pleasure? Think again. Here are science-backed reasons why an active sex life at this stage is phenomenal for your health. 1. Boosts immunity. Regular sex helps your body fight illness by increasing immunoglobulin levels. 2. Improves heart health. Sex is a form of exercise. It increases heart rate, burns calories, and can lower blood pressure. 3. Enhances sleep. Afterglow is real, thanks to oxytocin and endorphins. 4. Reduces stress. Orgasms release a cocktail of feel-good hormones that decrease cortisol. 5. Elevates mood and self-esteem. Feeling desired, loved, and connected is a mental health superpower, especially in a world that often overlooks older adults. So, in case you needed a reason, your health depends on your pleasure. Stories from the bedroom, real people, real experiences. Here are some anonymous quotes from real people over 60. I didn't think I'd ever want sex again after menopause. But I discovered a new kind of intimacy, slower, deeper, more emotional. It's beautiful. Linda, 67. I use a pump for my ED. At first, I was embarrassed. But my wife said, if it helps us connect, why not? We laugh about it now, and our sex life is better than when we were 40. George, 72. After my divorce at 63, I thought I was done. But now I'm dating someone new, and we're like teenagers. Passion doesn't die. It just waits to be awakened. Monique, 65. You are not alone. And your story deserves to be written with love, not shame. Conclusion, the sexual revolution at 60 plus. Let's wrap this up with one final truth. You are still vibrant. You are still desirable. You are still alive. Sex after 60 is not a shadow of your past. It is a whole new era, richer, slower, deeper, and more soulful than anything before. If you've been hiding your desire, if you've been doubting your worth, if you felt invisible in a world obsessed with youth, let this be your wake-up call. You deserve pleasure. You deserve intimacy. You deserve to take up space in your own skin. So go. Reclaim your body. Redefine your joy. And write your next chapter, one touch, one kiss, one moan at a time. This isn't over. This is just getting good.